Dear friends, the first trailer for Captain Marvel has finally been released. It gives us an idea about what the film might be, and it also has several nods and Easter eggs related to the 90s. We also get the first appearance of other characters. So let's take a closer look at the first trailer of Marvel's next big film. Captain Marvel, the next entry in the MCU film series, and the first to feature a female lead, tells us the story of Carol Danvers and her mission to save the world from the Skrull, an alien species with the ability to shapeshift. We also see much of her origin and of her time with the Kree Empire. The trailer begins with a ship and Carol crashing towards Earth. She lands and falls through the roof of an iconic video rental store, Blockbuster. This is just one of the many nods to the decade of alternative media. We then hear the familiar voice of Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, a more softer and younger Nick Fury. The first words he says are, "War is a universal language," calling her a renegade soldier, but that it never occurred to him that one could come from above. As the trailer continues, he narrates about space invasions, car chases, and that he was prepared to give up being an agent until he met her. During the narration, we see images of Carol putting her thumb on a fingerprint scanner, entering a secret area wearing a hat with the SHIELD logo. Then it cuts to a scene where they are performing what appears to be an autopsy on a Skrull. Then we see a ship materialize outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Now if you take a closer look, below the alien ship is a small plane that looks like a jet from the armed forces, possibly implying that this could be the moment when Carol gets her powers. She might somehow interact with the aliens, or she might crash her plane with their ship. Then it cuts to a car chase and Captain Marvel using her powers during a fight on a subway train. Afterwards we see what could possibly be the first time when Carol and Fury meet. Maybe even the first time we see the younger, two-eyed Nick Fury in the film. Innocently enough, he asks her this question, "So you're not from around here?" To which she answers, "It's hard to explain," with another alien ship speeding towards Earth. Carol is now talking about seeing what she thinks are memories of her life on Earth. We see multiple flashbacks of her life in the Air Force, her military training, and her childhood, with many jump cuts of her falling down on the ground. In one of those falls, we see her hand touching the ground and a stream of light surrounding it, possibly the moment where she begins to get her powers. She is then hanged by her feet and attached to a machine. It appears to be doing something to Carol's mind. Maybe this explains why she can't clearly recall her life on Earth. Captain Marvel is then seen walking down a hangar towards a spaceship with a crew of Kree aliens. We also have a quick first look at Jude Law as Mar-Vell, the first Captain Marvel. However, some theorists believe that he could actually be the main villain of the film. More images of Carol's memories flashes on screen, images of when she was a child on a go-kart to when she flew into space. We get a quick close-up of the Skrulls presumably on Earth, and then we see Captain Marvel punching an old lady in a subway train. Shocking, isn't it? Obviously the old lady has to be a Skrull in disguise, right? Near the end of the trailer, we see a battle on an alien planet, an image of Ronan from behind, a young Agent Coulson, this time with a little bit more hair on his head, and Nick Fury using an archaic piece of technology from the 90s known as a beeper. Possibly the same beeper that we saw him used in the post-credits scene in Infinity War. Continuing with shots of Captain Marvel with her team, wearing an interesting looking cowl or helmet that makes her look like she has a mohawk, a look pulled straight out of the comics. There's an explosion, and it looks like Carol is somehow absorbing the blast. If we combine this scene with the one of her falling to the ground with her hand being surrounded by energy, we could be seeing the origins of her powers. Multiple jump cuts of her getting up after falling, and a shot of her fist clenching with an unknown character blurred in front of her. Maybe it could be Jude Law. The trailer ends with Captain Marvel saying, "I'm not what you think I am," and finally wearing her red and blue uniform, getting energized and ready to fight. My friends, without a doubt, the trailer was interesting and energetic. It did a good job in finally introducing us to the MCU version of Captain Marvel. showing just enough to keep us wondering what will happen. Well, I'm intrigued. I now want to know more about the Skrull and Captain Marvel's team. Though not much, we now have a clearer idea of what to expect in the film. But remember, Marvel has deceived us with their trailers in the past, for better or for worse. What did you think about the trailer? Are you looking forward to seeing Captain Marvel? That's all for today. Thank you for watching and have a marvelous day.